friend recently asked me how writing was going and what I'm working on at the moment. And I proceeded to say, well, I have this fun little romance I'm doing. And then there's this like other little fun story that I've been working on for a while. But also there's this fairy tale thing that I'm like playing with and plotting. And then also there's like book 3 in my Realm Saga. And she's like, how do you manage in your mind? Like that would be paralyzing. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, like I was explaining it to her. And I was like, oh, I will explain this to everyone how my brain works because I think it's interesting. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it is. But for me, now that I had finished a book, I need to start the next one, but also like I want to like refill my well and like have fun and just like no constrictions on like what needs to be written. And so what I'm doing is I have like a list of like write chapter 1 of this, write a scene for this. And it's fairy tale, it's romance, it's fantasy, it's completely different genres. And it's fun for me because if I sit down at the computer in the morning and I don't want to write Norse mythology, heavy fantasy, big emotional scenes right now, because I'm not like deep in that book at the moment, I'll just write my like fun little romance that's like set in our world and it's much easier. I don't have to make everything up. Or if I'm like really in the mood for like kind of fairy tale, a little bit of fantasy, but I'm still like building these characters, I'll play with a scene for them. And it really helps me not get writer's block or get frustrated and then spiral because I'm like, what am I doing? I don't even know how to write books. Like who am I? So instead, I just like get a whole buffet of things that I can write from. And then as I'm like going through it, eventually one of them will stick, or I'll be like, okay, I've refilled my well enough. It's time to write book 3. And I know where I'm going with that because all of the books are percolating in my head at like all times. So I do know where the romance is going. I do know where like another book is going. I do know where my fairy tale one is like all plotted and I have characters and outlines and little things I want to do. And then with book 3 of my Realm Saga, I already have the opening scene, which I'm really excited to write. So that's probably what I'll write today because like Kara's been in the back of my mind and like she's very loud at the moment. So the character who's the loudest at the moment is the one who gets to be on the page. But yeah, it helps with not getting writer's block. It helps with like not spiraling and thinking I don't know what I'm doing. And it allows me to just like be free and be creative. And sometimes that's what I need is just the freedom to create and to not be like nailed down to a story. So that's my writing process right now. And hopefully it makes sense, or hopefully it can help somebody if you're stuck and you're like, this book is not working for me right now. Just go write something else. Like we talk about free writing all the time. Go do it. Go do something fun.